right, folks, how are we doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let's get after it. It is Sunday evening, the start of our trading week. And we know what that means. It means that we have another edition of the Traders Lounge. I know I say this every week, but I really do believe that we're going to have a great week this week. And that really is a cheat code. If you think about it, it really is a cheat code. Because by our definition, there really is no way to have a bad week in the markets. We define having a great week as one of three things. The obvious one is that you have a blinder of a week in which you just, smash your trades and you're up 5, 10, 15%. The second one is that your discipline and your rules and your psychology keep you out of trades that you have no business taking. So you don't get to have great profits, but you also don't have bad losses because your discipline kicks in and you stay out of trades you have no business being in. And of course, the third way to have a great week is that you do get into a trade and you do lose, but you learn. In trading, we either lose or we learn if we do it correctly. And so don't waste your pain. Don't just sulk and throw your toys out the pram and say, I'm not doing this anymore, when you'll be back next day anyway. Learn from the mistakes, keep a trading journal, and develop as a trader of both your pains and your successes. Right, so tonight we're going to be going for literally till about just about what you call it now, 15 past 10, 15 past 9, no, sorry, 15 past 10, sorry, BST. So right now it's about 20 past 9, so gotten about 45 minutes, thereabouts, 50 minutes, 55, somewhere in that ballpark. And then what we're going to do is, those of you who are registered students, we are going to come off YouTube. So this is for everybody. I'm going to come off YouTube and go into a closed forum in which we're going to do some analysis to start the week. And what we've done is in our student group at IKWA, shameless plug, $79.99 a month, you get all kinds of good stuff. So it's $79.99 a month, and this is what you get access to. Just plug it real quick. I'm proud of it. I'm excited about it. I think it's one of the best out there, probably the best for the money out there, period. That's what you get access to as part of the program. And this is our weekly schedule, at least for now, at the beginning part of it. This is our week. When you start for the first 2 months, this is going to be your schedule, and then you're going to settle into a groove that's a bit less stressful and a bit less strenuous, but just as beneficial. And it's $79.99 a month. That's not going to stay that way for long. But anyway, moving on from that. And so we're going to have a closed session tonight because I've given some of you some pairs to analyze with the stuff you've learned over the last few weeks. I'm going to be giving live feedback in the closed Zoom session tonight at 10:15. So whatever time we finish, just hop over to Zoom. You get the links via Telegram at 10:15. And if you really want to be a part of it as a taster, just send us just put your email in the comment section tonight while we're live. So if you want to see what that's like tonight, you want to join us for a taster, put the email in the comment section and we will get back to you with what the link is. So tonight I want to talk to you about managing social pressure as a trader. And you will see that in bracket after social, I have added media. Now this edition of the Traders Lounge, for instance, for those who don't know, the Traders Lounge happens once a week on a Sunday evening, where I share from my experience, good, bad, and ugly in the markets, less technical concept and more of the tricks of the trade you need to survive as a trader. So this is less about candlesticks and Fibonacci's and tops and bottoms and and indicators and market structure breaks and stop hunts. This is more about the psychology, but also just the mindset, the habits you have to develop as a trader, the pitfalls you should stay away from, the things that you should not do because they will kill you. You know, the very first one was we was called things I learned along the way, and then we had another one last week specifically talking about psychology and stuff of that nature. Today I want to talk to you about the place of social pressure as a trader. Now, hands up if you've already started falling into this trap. You are constantly online. You're looking at everybody else's Twitter. You're looking at everybody else's Instagram. You're looking at everybody else's YouTube, especially for those of us like myself and our academy here who have a YouTube channel. And you feel lost at the beginning. You've barely learned what a candle is. Talk to me in the comment section tonight, folks. You've barely learned what a candle is. And some guy is posting how he made $5,000 on one trade, right? And you start off thinking, you know what? If he can do it, so can I. And so your first encounter with social pressure, and before the advent of social media, even when there was no social media, there was still social pressure because traders were part of trading clubs. You would have a friend who was trading. You would see some guru who was on Bloomberg or some other TV channel. And of course, if they're on cable TV, they must be experts, right? Wrong. Half of them haven't got a clue what they're saying, and the other half are intentionally feeding you wrong information, because in those days, really much, you couldn't trade Forex. You would be trading options, at primarily things like stocks and shares, and they would call it pump and dump. In essence, they wanted you to take a bad trade because they wanted to get out of what was already a bad trade for them. And so they would talk about how this stock was really going to go through the roof this week, and everybody would run to their broker and buy that stock. And guess who was selling the stock? The guy who told you to buy it. And then you would cry, and then you go to the second cycle of social pressure where you feel like now you're on a 2 or 3, 4 string loss, or you've lost 3 trades. You've lost, 6 trades. What am I saying now? You lost 3 trades out of 5, or 7 out of 10, or 11 out of 15. And it suddenly hits you that there's got to be more to this business than just the fancy cars and the half-naked women that the people who are preying on your greed have specifically designed to get you to bite. But you know what's worse? While you are painfully dealing with your loss, and it's exacerbated because we live in a generation that is the most social media connected and the least socially connected in history. Let me repeat that. We live in a generation that while it is the most technologically connected in history, Monica, you're right, they're crooks, is the least socially integrated. In essence, we have all the technology and none of the humanity of true community. And so you probably don't have anybody in your immediate circle who is trading. You don't have a mentor. You're not part of a well, you might be part of a funny, dodgy one, but you're not part of an authentic mentorship or training hub like Israel Keys Wealth. And so there's no one to help you process the pain of your journey, but you still see all these other people seemingly making it. And then you fall, you go from excitement and inspiration to frustration and despair. You know what? Let me put this down so you can track with me as we're going along. You go from excitement and inspiration to frustration and despair. Because now, especially if you, like I talked about, remember I spoke about last week specifically about, let's see if I can find that slide for you from last week. See if we can find it. About having a life away from the markets. There we go. So that you do not ascribe your sense of value and importance to the results of the odd trade here or there. Remember we spoke about that, right? Well, if you do not have a life outside the markets, if you do use trading as a substitute for quality relationships, if your sense of value or proficiency is tied to the result of a trade or an analysis, you are going to fall into despair. Because now, everybody else but you is making money. And here you are losing it. Especially if you over-leveraged, over-risked. You've probably blown 20% of your account on your first 3 trades. You're now caught in the fear, greed, or the fear end of the fear-greed cycle. And then you've probably seen another 2 trades you should have taken that you didn't because you were worried. And those won. And now you're concerned because you know that if the last 2 trades you should have taken, you didn't take one, that you're now due a loss. And so you're gun shy. And then we move to the 3rd stage, which is fear. And what's the word for this one now? Let's call it fear and anxiety. You're anxious. You told everybody you're now a trader. You told your wife, I'm a trader. You probably used some money that your wife wanted to use for something else to trade, or husband. And now you don't have the courage to say, honey, I just lost 40% of that. I remember when this happened to me and I put £1,000 in an account, one of the many accounts I blew in the early days. And I showed my wife the analysis. And what I didn't show her was 1 week in, I was down $800, sorry, because of bad trading habits. Because I was so sure I was a part of this a group, this social media platform where everybody was posting their trades, and I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take that one. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to take this one too. They didn't tell me they were taking them on demos. I was taking mine on the live. And so when we lost and secondly, they were risking correctly. I was then a gambler. And so, and of course, I found out that some of them were lying because they would not tell you all the trades they took. Be very careful about letting somebody else pressure you socially. I've been in groups where people only show you the trades they win. That's why for those of you in our mentorship group, I give it to you. If I lose, I'll lose. I tell you, hey, this is the first loss in a while, but I took a loss here. I'll tell you when I enter the trade, or I'll show you when I am in the trade before it wins. I don't just wait till the trade has won and say, oh, there was my win, because you fall into the false sense of that guy's amazing. And because human beings are competitive and comparative by nature, if someone else is doing much better than you, it makes you feel like you're a failure. And hence we go to the 4th stage of social pressure, which is depression and loss of esteem. Now, if you are a new student of ours here, this may not apply to you, but there's going to be several hundreds of people who watch this video on YouTube, many of whom have been trading for a while. Let me help you out. This is where you start to say, perhaps I need a mentor. But at this point, you're saying it for the wrong reasons. You're not saying it because you want to learn systematically and take the time to develop as a trader. You're not saying it because you're ready to put the work in to study price action for hours in charts, and to really build a solid foundation. it's a quick fix. It's like alcohol or an opioid or marijuana. You believe if I can get a guru, especially one of the people whose results have been depressing me, right? If I can get that guru and he can show me how to make the same money he's making, then I can go back to feeling okay. And that leads you to the next cycle. Abuse or being ripped off. Because your psychology at this point is still negative. And so you are going to attract. It's the law of attraction. You're putting out bad energy, bad vibes, as many of you say on the Twitterverse or the Instaverse or the Facebook verse, whatever verse you're on. You are psychologically dysfunctional, and you are likely to attract the equivalence of your dysfunction. And so some idiot out there will ask you to pay $300 a month for a signal service, or I don't know now, for a signal service or some supposed mentorship class. I've heard stories of how people have paid $300 to get other people's free materials repackaged. Someone once got one of my videos. Someone got one of my videos as part of their paid package. They paid someone else for a training package, and one of my videos was part of their package. And of course, common sense told them that if I'm paying you $300 a month and you're just giving me another person's videos on YouTube, I might as well try and find the actual person themselves. And so you're going to be abused or ripped off. You're going to go to a Friday night or Tuesday night presentation in someone's hotel ballroom where they show you a few fancy indicators, promise you the world, make plenty of noise, tell you to stand up and shout, get you all riled up and excited, and then meet you at the back of the hall on your way out and literally almost fight you for your credit card. If you've been there before, say something in the comment section. Remember, all this is still social pressure, right? And then this is what is likely to happen. You quit. You've had enough. You tell yourself, never again. I'm not wasting any more money. I don't like feeling like a failure. I don't like comparing myself to other people and coming up short. So I'm done. You know, like the Jamaican girls meme. Me done. Right? You're sure you're done. In fact, and the first few days after you're done, you feel so good because you've just deleted pain from your life. And this is what some of you need to understand. The human brain is like the human body. They work fairly similar. You know why? Because the brain is connected to the body. Or should I say the mind is like the body because they're both connected to the brain. If you dip your hand in boiling water till it's almost scalding you, and then take your hands out quickly enough, very quickly, and immediately put them in normal room temperature water, the room temperature water will feel like it is freezing. Because your nerves are not registering the actual temperature. What they're registering is how it feels compared to what you are coming from. Let me repeat. Your body is telling you, in comparison to where we're coming from, this is cold. It's room temperature, but you're coming from scalding, so this feels cold. I really shouldn't say this, especially when many of you don't know me that well online. You know, my wife is probably going to pull her hair out if she ever watches this video about me making this. She's like, "Oh, you've come again with your crazy analogies." But it's like when you go in, it's like when you go into a toilet to do a number two, right? And I know you all don't do number twos. You're all cuter than the queen. Your excretory system works metaphysically. But for those of us normal human beings who actually go to the toilet once in a while to do a dump, after you spent a few seconds in there, your nose adjusts. Because if it smelled that bad the whole time you were in the toilet, you would literally puke. And so your nose adjusts. And then you step out, you leave. And perhaps you forgot, I don't know, your slippers, your phone. Maybe you forgot to wash your hands. Whatever it is, you go back into the toilet immediately. And you're like, holy smoke. What just went up here? Yes, you just went up there. But because you were so used to it, your sense of smell adjusted. Because what you're smelling now is the same as what you were smelling before. When you stepped out of that horrible place, right? And then you got back into it, your nose now adjusts again to say, this is different or more smelly than where I'm coming from. And so whenever you delete pain from your life, it will usually feel good initially. Because I used to be stressed. I used to be frustrated. I used to be, Monica says, nah, bruh. Yeah, Kieran, it's the boiling water analogy, you know? So it used to be bad. So space is great. But after a while, when the space wears out or wears off, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel withdrawal symptoms. It's kind of like what happens when you end a toxic relationship. Either you're dating someone, and I believe in marriage, but either you're dating someone or you have a friend who is toxic. Just toxic relationship. Absolutely, Monica, leave me alone. Absolutely toxic relationship, right? When you finally work up the courage to end it, you feel great for a few days or even a few weeks. No more manipulation, no more narcissistic abuse, no more emotional abuse, no more being made to feel unworthy, no more having to put up with a selfish person who's just a taker, and all they want is to take from you. No more dealing with the dishonesty and the lies and the cheating. And if it's a friendship, the dishonesty and the imbalance in the relationship. But you know what happens after a few weeks? Your brain naturally starts to forget the horrible things this person did. And you start remembering the good times. You know, the good times. The dates and, those things that you do. Or if it's a friend, they were your day one and you've been through a lot together and they were there for you once. You were there for them 15 times. They were there for you once. And you know why you remember they were there for you once? Because they never let you forget about the fact that they were there for you. Kira, leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? They never let you forget about the fact that they were there for you that one time. You needed $10 because you were stranded somewhere because your bank account your bank card got stolen. They sent you $10 and they'll till for the rest of your life. They keep repeating that. So you remember that one time. And so you get pulled back in again. Kieran, you're a mess tonight. And you get pulled back in again. And you know you shouldn't, but you do. And so you build up another $1,000 and you rinse and repeat the cycle all over again. Now, if anyone's been here, let me get this comment off the screen. If anyone's been here before, let me know in the comment section. And I don't just mean with trading. You could have been here in any area of your life where you allowed social pressure drive your pursuit and development. Where you were so concerned about what everybody else was doing, comparing yourself to everybody else, not being able to think independently. You were trying to keep up with the Joneses, keep up a facade that wasn't really the case. Or maybe you were the one doing the deceiving, right? Maybe you were the one who was letting everybody else feel that you were more than you actually were. It's the same cycle. When you first start to pretend to be a trading guru, when you put out only your wins and not your losses, you're excited and inspired. Then you start feeling frustrated and despaired. You start feeling fear and anxiety because you're afraid someone will find out you're a fraud. And if you keep at it long enough, they will. Then you fall into depression and you lose your self-esteem. Then to keep up the appearance, you now want to go look for a mentor. And so you get abused or ripped off because you fall into the hands of a charlatan, and then you quit. But then you are addicted to the applause. Yes, I'm talking to you, Mr. Big YouTube channel with thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers who knows that you really don't know how to trade. And because you miss the applause, you rinse and repeat the cycle all over again. Gerard, thank you. You're the one honest person on this stream tonight. Because everybody else has never done this before in any area of their life. They're just so perfect. Lies. Right, so what's the solution? Let me help you out. The first thing is to close your ears and your eyes. It's the first thing you got to do. You got to acknowledge that you're an addict. And you're not addicted to trading or success in whatever you're doing. You're addicted to approval. Let me repeat. You are addicted to approval. Let me write that down for you, so it can hit home even harder. Gonna put acknowledge. Nope. Let's do this again. Acknowledge the real root of the issue. You know what? I'm not going to say you're addicted to approval because that wouldn't hit home hard enough. You're an approval addict. Addicted, yeah, I'm only addicted. But when you see that word addict, if you're ready to be liberated, it should deeply hit you. All right, Natalia, I hear you. I see you. Yeah, Monica, there's lies being told in this comment section. Lies by silence. You're an approval addict. And it's okay. Because approval addiction is perhaps more prevalent than substance addiction in this generation. Because everybody is now living their lives in the public domain, right? You compare. Let's do it this way. Don't compare your full game / match / fights for the sports people here. So you're playing a football match, or a heavyweight title fight, or a basketball game, or cricket match, a baseball game, you know, whatever it is. Don't compare your full game / fight / match with everyone else's highlights. Don't compare your marriage in the 9 to 5 daily grind with someone else's romantic vacation. Don't compare your relationship with your boyfriend or your girlfriend with someone else's Instagram feed on Valentine's Day. The same way, don't compare your trading journey with someone else's social media feed. In these days, it is slick, it is deep. They are learning how to do crazy stuff these days to take your money. Marketing, psychology, down to the colors they use, the buzzwords. It's all trained. They'll get together as so-called influencers to give each other credibility to prey on you. Many of them are kids literally in their mother's basement, or grown men and women with no job, no real results, sat in front of a computer with a bottle of beer. I was trying to be nice tonight, but I just get so frustrated. Yep, Gerard, I'm going there tonight. You know, I'm going there tonight because I really love trading. This thing's been good to me, not just financially. It's taught me life skills and helped me develop an understanding of myself that has helped me in every other area of my life. I really love trading. And I hate seeing it destroy the sport for other people. And sometimes it's not even the people trying to get your money. It's other people like you trying to feel good about themselves. Let me repeat. It's other people like you trying to feel good about themselves. So like you, they're failing. Like you, they're concerned. And so the few times they win, they want the whole world to know about it. Because when you say, oh boy, that was a good trade. When you ask them what system they're using, or okay, one second. I gotta go here. I really have to go here. Let me put this up here. So we're gonna call this slide "Don't be part of the problem." Right? So don't in your dysfunction wreck someone else's journey. And this is how you can be part of the problem. So number one, don't. What do I start with here? Let me see. Which one do I start with? Which one do I start with? Okay, let's start with this one. Don't hold yourself out as a mentor / guru before you're ready. And how do you know you're ready? I don't know. Here's the truth. But I know when you're not. If you haven't demonstrated to yourself that you can consistently, unemotionally trade profitably, or that you can trade consistently profitably and consistently unemotionally, don't. And this is why people do that. Again, it's the same thing. Because you need approval or clout to feel significant. For some people, it's not the money. It's not the money they're after. They're after the fame, the notoriety. And so they're adding to the dysfunctional space out there, because deep down inside, they're just a little kid. They may be 50 or 60, but just a little kid who needs daddy to say good job. And I'm not attacking anybody who grew up fatherless like I did. So I know that feeling. But don't perpetuate your dysfunction by destroying someone else's journey. Secondly, and we looked at this last week, kill greed. Or what the kids call clout chasing. Make up your mind. Decide to develop at your own pace for your own reasons to hit your own. Remember, we looked at this last week about defining what success is to you, your own success metrics. And notice over and over again the word own. And no, I don't mean the Oprah Winfrey Network. Nothing against Oprah. I mean something that completely starts and ends with you. How quickly are you going to pick trading up at your own pace? That's the answer. Somebody else might do it in 3 weeks. You'd need 3 months. That's fine. It's not competition. We'll all get there. Doesn't matter how quick we get there as long as we get there. 10 years time, no one is going to ask you if you became profitable 3 weeks after them. All we're going to want to know, and it's not even going to be our business, is, are you proficient? Like I told a mentee of mine who, not a trading mentee now. He was a medical student and he had some adversity in his life. Something went wrong in his personal life that he was dealing with. And so as a result, he failed a year of his medical school. And so he was 1 year behind his quote unquote colleagues. And he was distraught. And I looked at him in the eye and I said, bro, I said, little bro, in 30 years from now, when you're a professor of medicine or a surgeon or the definitive expert in your branch of medicine in that part of the world or country where you live, no one is going to ask you. I'm just going to throw out 2 years here. This was not his years, 2 years here. No one's going to ask you whether you graduated in 1995. That's not, it's not for me. I'm just giving an example. Or 1996. The same way I say to young people who are looking at everybody else getting baited up and then getting married and saying, I'm tired of being the single one. Well, honey, 50 years from now, when you're a grandparent or maybe even a great grandparent, no one's going to ask you 50, 60 years. No one's going to ask you whether or not you got married in 2020 or 2021 or 22 or 3 or 4. And just like social media with trading and the social pressure, you're not going to be there when that person who got married is getting cheated on or physically abused or emotionally neglected by their spouse. You don't see beyond the makeup or beyond the sports car that they buy to mask the pain in their relationship or marriage. You are going to get married, live with that person. Hopefully you hope, right, for the rest of your life. That's why you say the vows. And so you marry your own person for your own reasons at your own time. And you judge your marriage by your own metrics of success. It's the same thing with trading. Okay. So it then asks the question. This then begs the question. Last slide for me. Tonight's going to be short. I told you guys at the beginning, right? Right. Last slide for me. So whose social support approval do I need? Do I become a lone ranger and say, I don't care about anybody else, I'm just going to do me? No. No. We don't go from one extreme to another. Right, let's get that there. Or let's put it this way. So let me rephrase that question. Who do I need in my corner? I think that's a better way to ask that question. Who do I need in my corner? Well, this is who you need in your corner. Number one, yourself. I'll explain. Yourself in bracket. All of you. This is not something to dip your toe in. You got to give it every part of you. Your mind, your will, your emotions. You have to make up your mind. I will show up and be present completely. I will get this right. I will. No matter how long it takes, I'll take my time, go at my own pace. If I need to do demo for 2 years, fine. Something inside me says I have a future as a trader. I'm going to bring every part of me, my tenacity, my grit, my creativity. I'm not just going to do it out of the overflow of my leftover emotional capital. The second person you need in your corner. Now, and I'm not being metaphysical here. So, for instance, I'm a spiritual person. I'm a Christian. I do believe you need God in your corner because in my worldview, that's what it is. But I'm going to leave anything metaphysical out of this because I know there's people from different walks of life, different religions or lack thereof that are going to watch this. So I'm talking about human beings here now. Second person you need in your corner is a mentor. In bracket, the right one. Not just any mentor, but the right one. And there is a Japanese proverb that says, many of you have heard it before, when the student is ready, the master will appear. It's an old Japanese proverb, and it is so true. In every season of my life, when I have been truly ready to take something to the next level, somehow, someone or something has appeared. Oh, Chinese, sorry, not Japanese, Chinese proverb that I need. Remember the same way when you were doing it for the wrong reason, when you were doing it out of approval addiction, and out of trying to keep up with the Joneses and out of that poor or horrible energy, you kept attracting the people who would rip you off and abuse you, who would take your money and just, who they themselves were just in your corner anyway, and were making themselves feel better about their dysfunction using you. Remember, right? Well, the opposite happens. When you really get into the right frame of mind, the right mentor will appear. And I'm not arrogant enough to believe that I'm the only right mentor. There's several people out there who do know how to trade correctly. Now, everybody has a different flavor. There are some things I believe are unique to me and the rest of our instructors here at Israel Keys Wealth Academy. But I don't for a second believe that we're the only people in the world that can teach anybody how to trade. No, far from it. Now, for those of you who are regulars on this channel, even if you're free regulars, and especially for those of you who are registered students, I want to believe that you found us. What have I just done? I want to believe that you found us because something clicked at some point. I'm going to call it God. You can call it whatever you want to call it, the universe, whatever. Something says, okay, Gerald's ready, Kieran's ready, Esther's ready, Natalia's ready, Monica's ready. psychologically and emotionally ready, now I will send their way the right person to help their journey. And so you want to mentor the right one. Now those are, and now you don't even need to know your mentor. Let's make this clear, especially where trading is concerned. I don't mean someone you go for coffee with. For instance, if you found my work online and you've been visiting this channel week after week after week, and you've watched all the videos several times and it's helping your trading and helping you go to the next level, then I'm your mentor. You may never see my face. I don't think I've shown my face except, well, I think I showed my face on one of the very earliest videos, bad lighting, different, a room in my house before I, before I made a coup and got, converted our old guest room into my study. So then my study was a little tiny corner. I had no lights. I had no microphones. I was just starting out on YouTube at the time. I didn't know a clue what I was doing. I didn't know how to trade, and that was about it. And so I've left a couple of those videos up on this channel. You can find them, the very first one or two, to remind me of how far I have come. And also to remind anybody who is inspired either by my trading proficiency or even just my YouTube proficiency, that everyone starts from somewhere. Good mentors don't hide their days of small beginnings from you. They tell you about their mistakes, how they've messed up. A good mentor's job is to make you feel like if they could do it, so can you. Not make you feel like a small, insignificant fish that has to bow forever, genuflecting at the altar of their greatness. Let me repeat. The job of a good mentor is to get you to a place where you believe that if they could do it, so could you, because they demystify their success by showing you all their errors, all their mistakes, and how they struggle too. Therefore, you can identify with their struggle and you can also see yourself in their success. Horrible mentors are so narcissistic and so self-important that they either intentionally or unintentionally make you feel like a worm because they're so perfect and you'll never be like them. They constantly remind you of how special they are and how grateful you should be, or how lucky or blessed you are to have them. Little old you has big old them. But like I said, you don't need to know me. You don't need to have seen my face. The students see my face regularly. You don't need to see my face to be a mentor. And whoever else it is that you're studying under, whoever's work is deeply inspiring your progress and you've seen consistent improvement, that's your mentor. Now, that's all you need to succeed as a trader. All of you and some mentorship, either personal mentorship or just someone's success to build on, their books, their videos, their whatever it is, right? Now, I'm going to adjust this now to say, who do I need / want? Because number 3 is not something you need, but it would really be nice. Is a true, 1 second, let's fix this. So we're going to format that. Paragraph. Let's make it 10 this time. So, cool. No. Right. So, a true or should I say a genuine or genuine, depending on what part of the world you are in, a genuine support group. It's actually a genuine tribe. A genuine tribe. Let's call it a tribe now. Of supporting That's what I'm looking for now. I was going to say friend, but they don't even need to be your friends. And they don't all need to be traders. Supporting contacts. Let's use the word contacts. Now, it's better if you're all doing the same thing. You're all traders, or if you're trying to be set up as a YouTuber. I don't mean a trading YouTuber now. I mean, maybe you want to be a YouTuber, do videos, podcasts, whatever, and something else. You're all YouTubers, or you're an aspiring actor. You're all trying to make it in the acting business, or you're trying to be a professional football player. So you're all people. Good to see you, D. They're all people who are trying to be successful in whatever area you're in. You know, I was doing some house hunting recently, and I found out that all the small estate agents in my community all know each other. Strange, because as soon as I said, "Oh, I'm coming from another viewing," they said, "Where is the house?" I said the house was on this street. They said, "Oh yeah, I know the estate agent trying to sell you the house." And I found out with one of them that one of the estate agents that had dealt with me had told them about me. Oh, you know, there's this couple, you know, looking for some property, and it's interesting, isn't it? And so you would think, because they're all fighting for the same clients, they're all trying to sell houses, that they'd all be at odds and at war with each other. But no, they were all extremely supportive of each other, because they understand the value of a tribe. Now, you don't need a tribe to succeed as a trader. Some of the best traders I know are lone wolves, but they're few and far between. Yeah, Esther, that's the way it goes, isn't it? Yeah. They're few and far between people, or the people who make it significant in any area of life on their own are few and far between. Human beings are social creatures, and we're going to come full circle now as we end. You're probably thinking, but you said stay away from social pressure. Yes, the wrong kind of social pressure. The competitive kind, the toxic kind, the greed, comparatively fueled and driven kind. But you do want the right kind of social, now not pressure. And this is where we're going to end today. What you really want is not social pressure. You want, let's see, let's get rid of this now. You don't want, or let's put it this way. Social pressure versus social accountability and support. So it's not the social that's the problem. It's the pressure. It's the competition and the toxic, whatever it is now, whatever it is, the toxic whatever, right? The toxicity, that is the problem. What you want are nurturing, symbiotic relationships. People you can journey with on your road to success, who will be invested in your success, who will truly be happy for you, who will hold you accountable when you want to quit, when you're in a bad funk, when you've taken a string of losses and you want to emotionally trade. People who will tell you, why did you take that trade? We both know you shouldn't have taken it, right? Those are the kinds of people you want around you. And very few of them are to be found on social media. You most likely aren't going to find them on social media. Where will you find them? Well, in personal relationships, in friends. But you can find them right here as I close. Shameless plug, yes. Shameless plug. Unashamed with my shameless plug. You can find them right here at Israel Keys Wealth Academy. For me, perhaps more important, or just as important at least, as the technical information, the psychology training, all the wonderful stuff we give you, And I've got some of our students in the comment section tonight. I'll let them let you know whether or not they think it's worth their money. But beyond all the stuff we teach that is top class, world class, many of which you will not find in other people's programs, either because they don't know it or because they're too selfish. They feel like if they give you their edge, then they'll be normal and no longer spectacular. We don't care. Your success is ours. But more important to me, or just as important, is the tribe we're forming, the bonds we're forming. People who from all around the world, different cultures, different countries, different ages, different places in life, never met each other, but have a common goal, and we banter, we talk, we share, we give each other happy birthday shout outs, and we look forward to being a part of each other's journey and success. And so if you are looking for that, in addition to some great technical, fundamental, and sentimental training in trading the markets, give us a shout. This is what you have to look forward to. Our structured course, our mentorship, but our inner circle. The inner circle there literally means a small group of people who are doing something together, a mastermind group, working at being the best they can be in a particular area. You can get all this for $79.99 a month. At this point, it goes up very, very soon. We're in the middle of a promotion that's going to go up very, very soon. And you can get also, in addition, this at the moment is our weekly schedule. So tonight we're here on a Sunday. That's changing a little bit moving forward. The times are the same, but the things we're doing in each session are changing. And not all of it by any stretch of the imagination is here on YouTube. A lot of it is done in private Zoom groups that only the students get to see. But even if you miss the live sessions, they're all recorded on demand for you to get access to. So how do you get in on this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Send us an email at israelkeysgroup@gmail.com. Just no pressure, no hard sell, just asking for details. Well, you know most of the details in terms of the finance and the time, but just ask for details. We'll send you a comprehensive email and information pack explaining everything you need to know. Or you can get in touch with us by WhatsApp or Telegram at that number at the bottom of your screen. All right, folks. So students, in literally 3 minutes, hop on Zoom. Same room as usual as we did on Friday and Thursday and Wednesday. Just hop on there in about 2 minutes. You can hop on now. I'll join you in 2 minutes. Everybody else, I hope you've had a great evening. Please watch this over and over again. Apply these principles, not just to trading, but to literally every aspect of your life pursuits to become the best you can be in whatever you do. This applies to everything else, not just trading. All right, students, also make sure you are registered. Your registered students, your notifications are set to deliver on Telegram so you don't miss out anything going on in the community this week. We will see you tomorrow at 9:15 for some start of week analysis. All right, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's been live doing this with you. We'll be back on Sunday next week for another edition of the Traders Lounge. Catch us during the week with our training videos and our analysis sessions and our trade breakdowns. And yes, one more time, on shameless plug, reach out to us on email or Telegram or WhatsApp to find out how you can be a part of our program for £79.99 a month. Take care. Have a great week. Bless you. Bye-bye.